What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we have another Nationals reports from Ben, who got 21st at Nationals with his Metal Rayquaza deck, which just makes me so happy to see Metal Rayquaza still doing great in the format right now. And as you see, there's a bunch of attackers in this deck that we haven't seen in the Metal Rayquaza. We have the Kecleon here, which has the attack, which you can copy upon his attack there. We see the Heatran, and we ask why he plays those, and he gives good answers why. We see the one Dragon Rayquaza there, and he gives you a really good answer why we play that. And as you see, he does play one AZ, and of course, we ask about that. And of course, he's playing the Fan Club, which I love Fan Club so much in this deck. Some people don't play it at all, or they play Winona. But I ask, why do you play Fan Club? And he gives a good answer why he plays it. But overall, the deck is really solid. And he actually tells you how to be Whaler in this interview. So look out for that too. But hopefully you enjoyed the interview, and thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing a Nationals report. And what's your name?
Ben Sauk.
Okay, and we know that you played the Metal Rayquaza deck, I guess is what people call it now. But
Yeah.
how'd you end up doing a Swiss?
Well, I did really well day one. I started 7-0, well, 7-0-2, and then I had a pretty bad day two and went 2-2-2.
Oh, man. All right, so in Swiss, what were your two ties?
So my first tie was to an Evital Garbodor deck in round 7. There was only two people that were 6-0,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude, he wanted to just ID before the round started. I'm like, nah, I want to play it out. And then I won game 1, he won game 2, and then we just ran out of time, so we tied. And then my
Okay.
second was to Frankie Diaz on stream,
Mm-hmm.
where I didn't deserve to time because I played very poorly, but I got lucky.
And was it like the game's close at all with Frank?
Yeah, I think the games were really the second game was really close. The first game was pretty bad because I decided to rush in my Keldeo turn 1,
Uh-huh.
and then I ended my turn and I was like, he's gonna nuzzle me, and then he nuzzled me and flipped heads, and I had to waste my turn 2 trying to salvage that, and he just got so far ahead off of it.
Okay. So day one, you're doing great. How are you feeling that night, knowing that you made it to day 2?
I felt really good. The only thing I was scared of was in 2011, I think, or 2010. Sorry, I went 9-0 with Gardevoir delayed in Swiss, and then I finished in top 32. So I was really hoping it didn't happen again, but yeah.
Yeah. So what happened on day 2?
Well, day 2 started. I got paired against a Landy Bats deck game 1, and I won game 1. And then game 2, I probably should have scooped because my draw was kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I might be able to stall at the clock and win, not game 2 finished. But off of one card end, he drew into Juniper, and then he was able to salvage the game and win when I would have won in a couple turns.
Okay.
And then I got paired. So my deck, I didn't run Altaria because I didn't expect too much Manectric. And then the next couple rounds, I got paired against a Garb Raichu deck and then 2 Manectric Ninetales decks consecutively.
Uh-huh.
And then I lost really hard to Stephen Bates playing Landorus Garbarchu, tied Sam Chen, and then lost to Andrew Crickler, who was playing Manectric Ninetales.
Yeah. Now, do you think after the tournament you would put the 1-1 Altaria in there?
It's really a meta call. This list that I ran, I was really expecting to play against a lot of Metal and Raichu. So I ran the Kecleon and the Heatran.
Mm-hmm.
And then I never really played against any mirror matches all day, so the Kecleon was not as useful as I was hoping for. So I probably would run a 1-1 Altaria. And after testing, I feel like I need a Megaphone or a Zarissa because Garbodor is just way too strong against this deck. It's awful.
Yeah. Now, why'd you decide to play the Metal Rayquaza deck?
So part of it was as a joke because one of my friends he works at Riot, which is the company that makes League of Legends,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a point to this. Sorry.
Okay.
So
You're good.
he played Cassiopeia support, which is kind of like a snake, and he's like, "Yo, if you ever do well to tournament, you have to make a deck called Cassio support." So I was like, "Okay." And then the whole point of this deck was Rayquaza is a dragon, it's kind of like Cassio. So I was like, I'll just call this Cassio support. The other reason was I had been testing Raichu for 3 weeks, but then I was very dissuaded by playing it because it just seemed like there was so much variance in the deck,
Mm-hmm.
and this deck was just running really hot for 3 straight days, and I was like, okay, I'll play it. And I think I have pretty good matchups against everything.
Yeah. All right. Now, you did play the 1 AZ in your list. Why was that?
So Unlike my brother, I thought AZ was really, really good against a lot of decks. Against Manectric, you can just throw because they're like only doing 110 against anything that's not a Mega Ray, which you should never play until you can one-shot them.
Hmm.
You can just put out a Pokemon and stall a turn, hit them for some small amount of damage, AZ, pick it up. And in the tournament, it worked out really well because I got paired against a Wailord deck in round 6, and like with AZ and Floatstone Keldeo, the matchup was like not terribly difficult.
Okay.
Because like if they ever just try to Lysander lock something up, you either have Keldeo with 2 energies to get out of that by either replacing their Silent Lab, or if you can't, then you just AZ the Pokemon. So their Lysander strategy doesn't work. They can't deny your energy because you have Bronzong in the deck, and there's like nothing they can do if you just constantly two-shot them.
Yeah.
With, Mega Rayquaza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you did play the one Dragon Rayquaza in 2 colors. Why was that?
So the point of the Dragon Rayquaza was, in case I went against a Manectric deck or Raichu deck, I wanted to be able to bench it, and then they wouldn't be able to one-shot it in theory. Because it doesn't have Lightning weakness. If you just bench the Colorless Ray and you're unable to hit the Spirit Link Mega Ray, then you can potentially just, like, lose the game, because they can just Lysander up, kill it, and you're just done. But with Dragon Ray, you can, like, bench Dragon Ray, attach a Spirit Link, start powering it up slowly, and then whenever you're eventually able to like get a one-shot, you can Mega Evolve and kill them.
Okay. Now, you talked some about Wailord against this deck. How does Rayquaza do against it, you think?
I mean, from when I played it in the tournament, it felt like a really good matchup. Part of it, what you can do is you can just start by intensifying Burn until you're able to set up a Mega Ray. Because like even at like so worst case scenario, they have hard charm Rusties. So you're only doing 10 damage a turn, but if you're doing 10 damage a turn with the threat of Mega Rayquaza, after like a couple hits, they have to actually like use a heal card, or else you can just Mega Evolve, Skyfield, 8 bench, kill them.
Yeah.
The actual strategy that I got was you set up 2 Bronzongs, Keldeo, the Mega Ray, and then like 2 other Pokemon, usually either Cobalion or Heatran. So that way you have a non-EX attacker, the Bronzongs, and the Keldeo to get out of like Lysander tricks, and you just hit them for 150 every turn, or 130 with hard charm. So if you always just keep hitting them like that, if they don't heal, then you can just drop Skyfield and add another bench, and you kill them. So you're always constantly threatening at 2 shots, they have to heal. And like I kind of mentioned before, they can't really like disrupt your energy or like Lysander or like anything. So you could just apply enough pressure that eventually you're just going to run them out of heal cards. At least that's what happened for me.
Yeah. Now, did you 2-0 the Wailord player?
I won the first game, and then we ran out of time game 2. I think I would have won game 2 because I still had like 20, 30 cards left in my deck, but I don't know.
Okay. Now, besides Mega Manectric, what's another shaky matchup for this deck?
So most Raichu matchups were like still Raichu Bats in particular was still like a 50-50 matchup, just because you have Heatran and Kecleon, which were really, really good. So like you can start attacking with them, and then like those are non-EX attackers. But the issue is they can still Lysander up your Shamans and like Lysander up your other stuff and kill you.
True.
So depending on how you play the match, it can be really close and how lucky you get. What else? Anything with Garbodor was like really shaky. It's just the nature of Garbodor slows you down so much, and if they kill anything you have with energy on it, you're just like you're done.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you did play the one fan club, and I've seen some people not play it, or they play like a Winona. Do you think the fan club's good enough for the deck?
I really like fan club. Like there is almost every game I open Compressor vs Seeker, I would be fan clubbing turn 1, just because you can guarantee get your Bronzor set up, and worst case you get Bronzor Shaman, and then you just start going from there. It's just a very consistent start. It's very safe. Because like there's so many times where like you call risk for like 9 or something, and you whiff Ultra Ball Bronzor, and you're like, wow, well, I guess I've lost this game.
Yeah.
But just being able to get a safe like because even if you generally only need 1 Bronzong into the game, like to be able to power up all your attackers and hit with them. So just getting the guaranteed 1 Bronzor or 2 if you have Shamans and stuff helped a lot. While like Winona doesn't really do that. If you're running Altaria, I think Winona's better because you can get a Ray out of nowhere, an Altaria out of nowhere, and get some Shamans.
Yeah.
I didn't have that, so I thought Fan Club's better.
Okay. Now, you talked about you would put a Megaphone in the deck, but would you make any changes to the list after you played it?
Let me look again. So I don't know. I think The only cards I could consider is I could try going down. Like one thing I was toying with was only playing a 2/2 Mega Rayquaza line, which is
Mhm.
like really thin. But I don't know. I think that's like one of the only cards I can consider cutting. To like maybe put in an Altaria would be like one of the Baby Rays and like maybe a Kecleon, depending on what I think the metagame will be.
Okay. Now, speaking of Kecleon, you played a bunch of like tech, I guess tech Pokemon attackers.
Yeah.
What was your favorite one during the weekend?
Heatran. Heatran is like a boss. It just does so much damage and like even if you just Steel Drop for 80, you can do so much. Plus you can like Lysander, Shaman, and Steam Blast for knockout.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Now, over the past couple years at Nationals, we've seen a trend where last year we saw Pyrodor, it did do so hot at Worlds. Year before, Gothtail, year before, Klinklang. You think we'll see the trend continue with Wailord?
My initial thought is yes. Like, I don't personally see any which way that Wailord can like succeed, especially if people get scared. Like, if they have a deck that can't beat Wailord, they just pick a Bumblebee, which Bumblebee by itself already isn't even a bad card. Like, just being able to double Rototiller, like back DCEs or double Dragon Energies,
Mm-hmm.
is just like really strong. So the fact that you can just do like tech that one card in and just dominate them just really scares me. And like I've been trying to think of like a way that Wailord can respond to like deal with Bumblebee. And I got nothing.
Unless they play
Maybe
like
someone.
a Landorus fighting energy just randomly in their deck and they just draw to
Yeah. I mean, if they do, they earned it. I guess at that point.
it. Alright. So, how many championship points do you got right now?
496.
Okay, sweet. So, coming up to Worlds, do you think Metal Rayquaza will still be your pick for Worlds, or is it too hard to tell since it's a month away?
I have like no idea what's gonna happen for Worlds. I think it's definitely a deck I'm gonna consider, but I don't know. Like it all depends on like what the metagame's like shaping up to be,
Mm-hmm.
and like which is just very hard to call because like a lot of people from different countries are coming to the event, so I'll have no idea what they're playing.
Yeah, true.
Just have to read stuff online and figure out what where people are at.
Hopefully, everybody will tell what deck they're playing the night before.
Yeah, in open gaming, like, hey, what are you playing?
And that way you'll just win. There you go. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's the perfect plan. All right. Well,
totally.
do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Well, shout out to Sydney Morsoli, my brother, Isaiah Rufus, and other people from the PA area for testing with me. And then I guess shout out to Pokey Beach. High quality content.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview, and can't wait to see you at Worlds, man. And good luck.
Thanks. Have a good one, Squeaky.
All right, you too. Take care.